Brittany, Jenae, Krinza, Crash Course.
Hi, I'm not John Green, but this is still Crash Course. And today we're talking about the French. The French had a wide range of influence on the New World. These included politically, economically, socially, and religiously. Unlike the French, us Americans are very hygienic. Oh, good. I feel so constricted. There's too many globes. It's okay. It's okay. I felt empty, so I'm bringing it back. In 1534, the French King Francis I sent Jacques Courtier with 2 ships and 61 men to look for a New World passage which was supposed to link the Atlantic with the Pacific. Courtier discovered the inlet of the St. Lawrence River. He returned to France after claiming the whole region for the king, the title New France. Miss Brittany, why do the French have such unimaginative names? Well, me from the past, it's because they are the French. And as we all know, the French are not the brightest in the world. In 1535, Courtier sails his longboats up the St. Lawrence River as far as an island occupied by Huron Indians. They made him welcome. Courtier returns for a 3rd visit in 1541. His discoveries prompt the interest of French fur traders in these regions. In 1611, Samuel de Champlain establishes the beginning of a settlement on the same Huron island, modern-day city, Montreal. Now, onto les politics. The government of French North America was always authoritarian. Before 1627, there were 5 different viceroys, all of whom delegated their powers to Samuel de Champlain. He continued to administer New France until his death in 1635. Finally, in 1647, the Crown established a council in Quebec. This council consisted of the Governor-General, the Governor of Montreal, and the Jesuit Superior. Now it's time for the open letter. I give up. There's no door. An open letter to baguettes. Dear baguettes, what makes you so special from other bread? I mean, come on, you're a little thinner and longer, so that means you get your own name? You still taste like any other bread to me. It's true, though, that you are great to serve with a little cheese. But so are crackers, and you don't see them getting a special name. Stupid baguettes. I mean, come on. Long, wide loaves have been made since the time of Louis XIV. Long, thin bread since the mid-18th century. And in fact, by the 19th century, some were longer than baguettes. You didn't come to mean bread until the mid-18th century. You didn't become a French staple until the 1920s. Also, you require a special oven called a deck oven. These ovens use steam injection to create a proper baguette. This oven is typically heated to over 400 degrees Fahrenheit. This is another reason why baguettes are a waste of time. Aside from that, what part did you play in French history? You didn't keep meat longer. You didn't help win any wars. Rather, you are a loaf of bread. Best wishes, Brittany, not John. After the reposition in 1663, the French became the French that we all love today. The king appointed a governor-general who took care of the military and diplomatic situations, but also there was an independent who was responsible for civil administration. A new sovereign council, later known as Superior Council, became in place. This was made up of the governor-general and the intendant, bishop, and 5 counselors. Just because you should learn something today, here are some dates from the French and Indian War, which was the reason the French lost most power in America. In 1759, the French surrendered Quebec after a battle outside the city on the Plains of Abraham. In 1768, the Treaty of Paris ends the war between Britain and France. Now for the money. New France never met the economic expectations of its promoters. Both fur and cod, the other Canadian staple, not Canadian bacon, required a large colonial labor force, so transporting immigrants was financial liability rather than a source of profit. Even then, the rate of permanent settlement was low, which caused the demographic growth to become gradual. In the absence of large colonial population, agriculture and industrial development occurred, slowly limiting the demand for further immigration. The Company of the 100 Associates arranged for the passage of an estimated 7,300 people to New France, probably 4,700 to St. Lawrence Valley, and 2,600 sent to Acadia. Many of them, however, moved on to other destinations. Roughly half of those sent to St. Lawrence, and nearly everyone else went to Acadia. By the mid-18th century, the St. Lawrence Valley was a land of self-sufficient family farms that exported surplus wheat to El Royale and the Caribbean. Now an excerpt from the first encounters with the Winnebago and the French. The French French, of course, wanted to shake hands with the Indians. The French tried to speak to them, but they couldn't make themselves understood. After a while, they discovered that they were without tools, so the French taught the Indians how to use an axe and chop a tree down. After a while, they got more accustomed to one another. The Indians learned how to shoot a gun and began trading objects for axes. They would give fur and other things of that nature for the guns, knives, and axes of the whites. There were 3 estates, clergy, nobility, and the commons. In the town, tradespeople were free to pursue their own interests since there were no guilds and the cooperative association was strictly limited. Women were also encouraged to be involved with business. The society was very multicultural. They had Christian and Indian reserves east of the St. Lawrence and African laborers in Montreal. It was the people who voluntarily adopted an Indian way of life and married Indian women. The French initiated the French settlement in Illinois country through their marriages to Indian women, beginning in the 1690s. Overall, the French had a new part to explore and make money off of. The world was completely changed in politics, economy, social, and religious changes. The French had a different approach of entering the New World than the Spanish or even the British. The French were understanding and wanted to trade for the economic benefit, but baguettes are still irrelevant. I'm not John Green, and this has been Crash Course. Our executive producer was Jenae, Brittany was not John Green and did all the funny stuff, and Krinza was our editor/filmer. These are going to be great bloopers, by the way.
You're still on. Brittany, dead puppies. It was recording. Brittany!
Jenae, stop it! I'm sorry! Your faces are like, I feel constricted. There's too many globes. In 1535, Courtier sails his longboats up the St. Lawrence... oh, wait, what did he say? Okay. She's like, damn! Marker. Oh, God. In 1535, Courtier sails his... Stop turning it! Oh, my God, I'm gonna kill you! Miss Green! Miss Green! No, it's not Green. Courtier discovers the inlet of the St. Lawrence River. He returns to French after claiming